Hey there, welcome back to Miggy Mike's Milagros. You're here with Miggy Mike. What's up, y'all? Thank you for clicking on another video. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's not, welcome back, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos, as the intention is to get them out there to you people, to get them out there to your family, your friends, your folks, so that way y'all can help each other out, and so that this medicine can help you guys live a smoother life, right? And as I'm usually doing, and as I've been doing with these other videos, is these videos are going to be the foundation. These are things that I know that I personally struggled with along the path, or things that just over time I needed help with. I didn't know, this or that, and some of the pitfalls that come with doing some work when you're not prepared, or when you think that you know what you're doing and you don't. So, healing work is definitely one of those tricky subjects. I feel that you should approach it when you're ready and when you're a competent worker. I don't think that healing is something that should be done when you're barely starting out in this work. And that is just because you don't really know if what you're doing is helping or harming. What you're praying for might be a little all over the place. Your mind might be all over the place. And so you really want to be maintained. You want to be focused. You don't want to be in a state of panic when you're doing this work. When you're doing most spiritual work, you don't want to be in a state where you're kind of not all there, unless you're doing possession work, but that's a whole other thing. So, then you're not all there. But yeah, so with healing work, what is healing work? Healing work, as I'm sure you can guess from the name, it's to heal someone, curar. It is to bring healing. It is to help mend. It is to help bring back that which is out of balance. So when doing healing work, one of the major things that I want to say and stress is that you need to make sure that if it's for yourself, if it's for a loved one, it's for a client, a friend, whoever it's for, that you make sure that the person that needs the healing is cleansed first. You got to make sure that you're cleansing them spiritually, so that way it removes any of this spiritual gunk, any of that spiritual shit that might be on them. You have to remove before you can bring things back into your life, especially with sickness and with that kind of thing. You have to really make sure that you cleanse them really well. You have to make sure that you're protected really well. Always, as I always tell y'all, make sure that you cleanse yourself. Make sure that you protect yourself and put on the appropriate oils and call on your spirits and stuff to protect you, to watch over you, to guide your work and to guide your hands, to make sure that none of in this case, the sickness or the illness is going to mess with you guys. You need to make sure that you're doing those things, because if you're not careful, it is really easy to fuck yourself up. It's really easy for you, after you're done doing a cleansing on someone, you feel really tired and lethargic. You feel kind of sick to your stomach. You feel dizzy. Those are not good signs. If you as a spiritual worker feel those things, it means that your protection isn't as strong as it needs to be. It means that you didn't do the things that you were supposed to do on your end to protect yourself and to keep that shit off of you while you're doing the work that you need to do. You need to make sure that you're cleansed, that you're protected, that you're good on your end before you're going around and trying to help all these other people, because you're not going to be of any help, and you're going to end up getting yourself and your people into some shit if you can't take care of yourself in the right ways, and to make sure that you're good before you're doing any of that kind of work, because healing work is heavy. I'll tell you what, that is one of the last works that I've even gotten into. So that was because, to me, I knew the heaviness. I knew what healing work, what that meant. I knew, and I know that means you have to be okay, that you have to be right in yourself, and that you have to know what you're doing, and you can't let your emotions get the better of you. You have to know, and you have to have the faith, you have to have the knowing, you have to have the trust in your spirits and in this work, that what you're doing is a total success, and you can't go back and forth on that. You have to do it, and you have to believe, and you have to have faith, and you have to know that what you're doing is the right way. You have to make sure that when you're doing healing work, and any of this type of work really, when you're doing this work, go in with knowing exactly what you're doing. Spirit is going to guide you. When you start getting more comfortable with that, and you're more able and open to hear spirit and to work like that, then that's awesome. But in the beginning, I really honestly don't recommend that you do that, because sometimes you're gonna end up fucking yourself up, or fucking up your loved ones, or whoever it is that you're doing work for. So make sure that you're good on your end. Make sure that you cleanse the person, whoever it is, before you do any kind of healing work. You need to make sure that spiritually they're cleansed and they're purified, so that the spiritual medicine that you're going to give to them they can receive it. So that way they don't got any of the extra bullshit. And cleansing will make them feel good either way. Cleansing is a good refresh and renew your spiritual forces, renew yourself in body, mind, spirit, and heart. So those are things that you should be doing, like I've stressed before and always stress in my videos. Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Protect yourself, protect yourself, protect yourself. Those things, praying to your Holy Spirit, praying to your higher powers, praying to those spirits that walk with you to keep you and your family and loved ones protected. So no bullshit or no one, tries to fuck with you. And if they do, well, then shame on them, and let the spirits of justice, come down crashing on them, y'all. So make sure that they're cleansed. And you always go, remember, top of the head, bottom of the feet, always in a downward motion, always away, because we're removing, we're cleansing, we're purifying, always from heel to toe, outward motion from the heel to the toe out 3 times, y'all. You want to make sure that you're doing that at least 3 times is what I recommend. And then after you're done doing that, and after you feel that they're cleansed really well and they're good to go, then whatever form of healing that you're going to do, you would work it. So if you're going to do, let's say you're going to work with a candle, same thing as I've showed in the other videos, but what you do is you get your candle, whatever the candle is. Let's see, we'll say that this is your candle. You get the candle, make sure that this candle is cleansed and is purified, and then you're going to go ahead and go from the bottom of their feet, this time from the toes to the heels, up. You're going to draw that candle up, draw it up toward them, draw it up toward them. And what you're doing now is that healing candle, and that could be a white one, a red one, an orange one, a light blue one, a purple one, whatever color it is to you that is healing, go ahead and use that one. Purify it, cleanse it. Like I said, go after you're done purifying and cleansing and making sure that it's cleansed, you go in an upward motion with that candle to the person or to yourself. Upward, upward, and make sure you do that, and you're praying the whole time for healing, that they are healed, that they are optimally healthy and whole in body, in mind, in spirit, and in heart, that no sickness, affliction, infirmity, or ailment may be able to penetrate this healing, that they are healthy, that from blood to blood and from bone to bone, that they are healthy, flesh to flesh, that they are good to go, that in body, mind, spirit, and heart, that they are elevated, that they are redeemed, that they are exalted, that they have the optimal health and wholeness that they need in order to walk, if that's the complication that's going on, in order to breathe, if that's what's going on, if it's confusion, whatever it is, you want to pray that they have that blessing that they need, whatever it is that they're being deficient in, and make sure that you're praying for their blessings. Make sure and you're asking in the name of your higher power, that in the name of your higher power, that they are being healed, that they are healed, that they are healthy and whole in body, mind, spirit, and heart, y'all. Make sure that you're doing this. Make sure that you're affirming that power, and make sure the whole time, this is what I personally like to do. Whatever it is that's going on with them, especially if I know the person and how they were before the sickness or whatever it was that came on, I always like to visualize how they are when they have strength, when they have energy, and when they have the things that they need. Another thing that I like to visualize, if they're going to the doctor and maybe I can't be there with them, or maybe it's a long working that I'm doing and I can't be in front of them while I'm doing the healing work, which happens all the time. If that's the case, then what you can be doing is you're visualizing, like I said, that they're walking strong, that they're healthy, that they're happy, that they, like, say something, hear their voice in your head and see them in your mind and saying, I'm healthy, I'm whole, I'm happy, I'm optimally healthy and whole, I'm blessed by God Almighty, if that's who they work with, or I'm blessed by the triple goddess, or I'm blessed by Tunanseen, whoever it is that you work with, whatever spirit that they work with, incorporate that, allow that spirit to allow you to hear that within your mind, see that, hear that, be around them and be like, yes, it worked. When they go to the doctors, I always visualize hearing good news, hearing happy news, hearing news that they're doing good, that whatever it is that was afflicting them, that it's not there anymore, and now they're helping them to recuperate and to get their rejuvenation and the power to be refreshed and the power to be alive in body, mind, spirit, and heart, to bring forth that power. Another thing that I like to do, y'all, just another quick little visualization, is I like to just surround them with white light and gold light. I really like gold light, but white light and green light all around their body, all on them, all just encompassing them, all around them. And you can say a little prayer, right? Like to ask for their, pray to their guardian angel that they bless and empower them, that they provide for them the healing and the strength that they need. Honestly, one of the coolest things that I will say in any work, including healing work, is praying to someone's guardian angel. pray to the guardian angel of the person to help them, to bless them, to make the work a little bit easier so that they receive the medicine that they need a little bit easier and smoother, so that whatever prayers and petitions or whatever things that they need, that the guardian angel is stepping in on their behalf and blessing and empowering the way for your work, or for their needs, or for their prayers, or your prayers and intentions. Always incorporate your guardians and your guides in all your work. Make sure, again, that when you are doing your work, whether it's healing yourself, whether it's healing other ones, that again, you are calling in your spiritual guides, your guardians, your guardian angel, the saints that work with you, that walk with you, the gods that walk with you, whatever being, hellhounds, whatever forces that you work with. Make sure that you're calling them in to protect you and to keep you protected and covered during the healing and after the healing. And then make sure again that after the healing you're cleansing yourself and you're putting on whatever protection that you need, because it's really important that you keep yourself protected, because a lot of the time, especially with healing work, it's not a one day and you're good to go. Usually it's consecutive number of days. Sicknesses do not grow, just like a lot of problems do not grow overnight. It's rare, but, or I guess like the 24-hour flu and that kind of stuff, but like the major sicknesses, they usually are over time, right? And they build and they build and they gain strength. So doing the healing work is not going to be an overnight thing, not a one-time ritual, one-time candle or anything like that. If it were so simple, right, yo? But it's not. So make sure that with your healing work that you're praying on behalf of them. Make sure that you're praying the positive things that they want, that they need in their life. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do to keep yourself protected. And make sure that, another tip that I do want to recommend, and this is something that I heard from, she was an Indian woman actually, and what she said is that when you're going home after somewhere that's like haunted or somewhere that has a lot of like a lot of energy, a lot of spirits, stuff like this, and when you're doing healing work, you're gonna get a lot of spirits around, good and bad. That's what's gonna happen. I'm just saying. So what you're gonna want to do is go home in a different direction than how you went. Make sure that you stop somewhere at least once, get off the car, do like a 3 counterclockwise spins, get back in the car, go home, but go home in a different direction. Make sure, so basically what you're doing is you're dropping off the spirits there wherever it is that you just left, and wherever, so you're done with your healing, you take off or whatever, and then you're gonna go stop somewhere, a gas station, wherever it is, stop there, do 3 counterclockwise spins, get back in your car, and go home a different route. If normally you go this way and your house is right here, make sure you're coming in this way and you're getting to your house right here, if you can. If not, like I said, make sure that on the way at least you're not going home the same exact way that you went. It just helps confuse any spirits that might be trying to fuck with you, or trying to figure out, the sickness or whatever it is to try to attach itself to you. Make sure that you do that. And if it's a major sickness, I would say even do a cutting clear. And a cutting clear is a work exactly like how it sounds. You're cutting away and you're clearing away from the person any of the sickness, any of the illness, any of the bad relationships, whatever it is that you need the cutting away from and the clearing from. That's what you would do it with. You can do that with a pair of scissors. You can do that with a knife. You could do that with a razor blade. There's lots of different things. You got a sword, you can do that with a sword. There's lots of sharp things, right? Things that cut. That's what you would use in order to do a cut and clear. And make sure that when you're doing the healing that you're gentle with the person, because healing takes a lot out of you as a worker and it takes a lot out of the person. So you have to really make sure that they're okay. Make sure that after you're done with the cleansing that they're like, they get something to eat when they're with you if you can, or something to drink at least, because healing drains a lot of the energy and then you're restoring their energy. But I don't know if y'all have noticed, when you take medicine, a lot of the time when you take medicine, you get kind of tired after. That's the body's way of telling you, hey, we need to rest, because when does the body do its most healing? When we're asleep. So I would recommend that you make sure that they're okay after the healing and stuff like that, because it is draining. It does take a lot out of you when you're doing healing work. You need to make sure that the client is good and that they're comfortable and okay before they take off. Make sure that they feel okay, make sure they feel comfortable, joke around, things can get a little more normalized so that way they don't feel so heady before they leave. Just bullshit or whatever, talk for a little while so that way you know that they're good. What else do I want to say about healing work? Healing work, honestly, there's so many different ways that you can do it. So depending on the tradition that you work with, go ahead and work with that. Now, if you want to do preemptive, I'll give you one thing before we go. If you want to do something preemptive in order to help with the healing work, what I would do is handy dandy drink of mine. What I would do is, if this was, a cup that I could open, but it's not a top on it, is I would pray over my water. Pray over your water, and y'all, it's amazing. Water accepts energy. Water accepts prayers so fast. So I would say pray over your water every day. Pray over, like, if you got the big jugs and stuff, pray over that thing. Write your intentions. Write words of empowerment, so that way when you drink the water, it's not just normal water. It's water that has healings. It's water that has prayer. It's water that has power. It's water that has whatever it is, the blessings that you're calling in, whatever it is, you're going to be drinking in that power. You're drinking that power internally, so it goes from the inside to the outside. That it helps, that as the water helps, it helps to clean and cleanse you. That it helps to remove through your piss or whatever it is, any of that sickness, any of that illness, any of that negativity inside your body. Doing that kind of work, praying over your food, praying over your water, praying over the stuff that you're going to consume, will help to bring, it's like a way to do tricky work too, right? So you're praying over your water for your loved one, praying over that wine for your loved one, praying over that food for your loved one, right? It's a tricky work. It's got to make sure if you're doing some work that is a little maybe unethical, they don't hear you. But for this kind of work, healing, praying over water, praying over juice for your family or loved one that's sick or that needs assistance, praying over that soup, praying over those things, and making sure that your mouth touches that water so that they have those blessings, so that that power and intention and energy goes from your mouth and into the water. Because our prayers, our voice, it vibrates energy. So when we add intention into what we're speaking, that vibration goes into whatever it is that our vibratory, mouth, voice pieces are going into the sound waves. Wherever the sound waves are being projected over and onto that thing, it's going to receive those blessings, especially water. It's really easy for it to receive that power. So that's a quick little tip that I would say that y'all can do for yourselves every day or for your loved ones, just as something in order to help you guys not get sick, in order to help bring in your blessings, in order to help you guys with just everyday little things, to help you with healing, to help you with blessings, to help you with power, whatever it is. Make sure that they're good. Make sure that after once they're done being cleansed and once they take off, then you can cleanse yourself and get yourself good. Make sure that you protect yourself. Make sure that the area that you did the work in is cleansed and purified, and that you put some oil or a special kind of wash around that place, so that way it doesn't carry any of that heaviness. Because healing work, it has to go somewhere, right? It goes into, depending on the work that you're doing. If you're using plants, right, you're smacking the person down with, like within curanderismo, when you're doing a limpia, you're going in a downward motion. The usually, from what I've seen, the worker, the curandero or curandera, is either going to put them in a plastic bag and give them to you and tell you to take them far away from your house, far away from that place that you just did the cleansing. Other times I've seen them burn the plants and stuff like that. So it's just going to depend upon your tradition and what that calls for. Depending on how you're supposed to be doing the work will determine how you're going to get rid of the work. So I'll leave that up to y'all, but just remember that when you're doing healing work, that you're good, you're cleansed, you're protected, that after you do the healing work, if it's on yourself, I would still give myself a little refreshing with the, like holy water, cleansing water, and some oil, because you're not going to get rid of that healing. It's not going to wash away, because all you're purifying is any evil, any negativity, any mal de ojo, any jealousy, any sickness that might be there. It's just a way to remove that shit, that any of that little leftover bits that you might have missed. It's to help cleanse and purify you from that stuff. So, and then I put that protection oil, and if it's for yourself, I'd even add some more healing oil to that, if you have healing oil, and if that's one of the ways that you're going to go about bringing in that energy to you. But that's what I would do. With the candle, I would go in an upward motion up towards the person you're drawing in that power, drawing in that spirit. Then I would anoint that candle with whatever oil it is that you need, in this case, the healing oil, right? And I would also, this is the last thing that I want to mention, is that what I would do, and this is what I do, so yeah, listen up. Whenever I'm going to do healing work, I make sure to add protection work with it. Because once the person is healed, we want to make sure that their healing is protected against any bullshit, against any demons or devils, against any negativity. so that way they're fortified, so that their healing is because when you're healing, you're in a state of almost vulnerability, because you're regenerating, you're bringing back those tissues back, you're bringing back that blood flow, and you're bringing back the white blood cells, all those things, you're bringing back that good energy on you. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're protected, because you might step in some bullshit down the road, down the street. You might cut someone off and they fucking throw the evil eye on you, and you just had this cleansing. You need to make sure that you're protected, that the client is protected, that the healing work is protected and it is blessed. Always make sure that you're covering the person with prayers and power, that after they're done with the healing, like I said, you're putting protection oils on them, putting protection, giving them little spirit bags, however it is that you're going to give them protection. And always make sure, I would say, to pray over them one more time. Pray over them with protection. Pray over them with your hands, that your higher powers, that their guardian angel protects and watches over them and keeps them safe against any and all evil, against any and all demons and devils, against anything that would harm or block or obstruct the way for their healing and for their blessing. Well, y'all, that's all I wanted to say. I know that was a lot. I know it was a little all over the place, but that's what I got for you. So don't forget, this is Miggy Mike's Milagros, and you're here with Miggy Mike. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your people. If you got comments, please, if you got questions, ask them. If you got suggestions for videos that you'd like me to do or to talk about, let me know, y'all. I'm open to suggestions. If I'm willing and can talk about it, I will do that. So thank you guys for watching. All right, y'all. Peace. Hey, y'all. Miggy Mike here. Totally forgot to mention something, so I just wanted to add this into the healing lesson. There is something very important that you need to make sure when you're doing healing work, and that is that you are not adding too much heat. If it's a healing work where there's a lot of inflammation, you don't want to inflame that. Make sure that when you're doing work, depending on what it is that you're doing healing for, right? If it's depression, then they need a little bit of heat in their body. If it's inflammation, like I mentioned, or like some kind of cancer and stuff like that, that's really going to depend. That's why this healing work is really tricky. You need to make sure that the herbs and the roots and that kind of stuff, that what you're using isn't going to be, like I said, medicinally too hot for the person, or it's not going to burn them up too much if they're dealing with a fever or something like that. You have to make sure that the work that you're doing isn't going to be counterproductive or counteractive to what it is that they need help with. Make sure that if it's a sickness or a coldness or ailment that has to do with how do you say that? If it has to do with being cold and the shivers and that kind of stuff, that you're warming them up. But also make sure that if it's something that's heat related, that you're not inflaming it by adding a bunch of candles, by giving them a bunch of herbs and roots and medicine that's too hot. You got to really make sure that you understand what it is they're going through in order to help them. An alternative, y'all, honestly, and this is the way that I do a lot of my work, is I work with saints. I give it to my saints. I give it to them because they know what they're doing, because they know how to heal, because they know what it is that needs to go where. That's why working with that person's guardian angel, so that they can apply the medicine wherever it needs to go, however it needs to go for their healing, I would always recommend that. I would always recommend that you're not the one making the absolute decision because you think you know best, because Spirit knows best. Make sure that you're asking their guardian angel to guide the work so that they accept it more easily. Make sure that you know the difference between if you need to do work that's heated to bring them their temperature and their mind and mood up. Make sure that you know if it's something that needs to cool them down. You need to make sure that you're not getting too crazy with them, because then they're going to be getting irate. It's not going to be good for helping with their healing or anything like that. That's all I wanted to add, y'all. All right, take care. Big love.